couldn't go to the shops, mate. There were about 20 people there sitting drinking wine. I didn't have a dad in my life. My mum didn't have a car. We were a proper scheme family. Do you know what I mean? There was not a lot of money kicking about. It was more the bigotry stuff and all that I couldn't get behind. Quite even split in Bellshill with Celtic and Rangers and stuff. So this is fucking pointless. We both get full-time contracts, and like, mate, there was 18 boys there that didn't get a contract. Do you know what I mean? So it was really competitive. We'll get to the point where I got released, mate, and it was fucking heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? It's crushing, mate, because that's your job, mate. No kidding you. I felt like I'd been uppercutted or something. Like I was seeing stars, man. Everybody was saying like, nah, you can't play. It's 9 months recovering. He's like, no, God will fix me. They'll lower the club, mate. They'll lower the money. Do you know what I mean? So it's basically just get yourself out of training, and if you're good enough, you'll play. If you're no, you're out. And then he was like, me, I think you're drinking too much. He says you're drinking too much. You should be in the gym this morning before you come see me. I just thought to myself, fuck it, man. I'm going to Thailand. So I just quit my job, mate, and just fucked off. I think just taking a wee bit of time away from life gives you a lot of perspective.
What's happening, troops, and welcome to Longshots episode 1, and we'll go our first guest here and our very own co-host, Jamie Watson, Mr. TikTok himself. Good to have you here, bro. Thank you for coming in, mate.
How we doing, mate? I'd have been here anyway, mate. I'd have been here. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm feeling good, mate. Really buzzing to have you as our first guest, because you're an absolute legend, if I do say so myself, mate. I think in your own words, mate, the nicest guy ever. You call everybody that, mate, but I think you genuinely are.
Do you think so? I appreciate it, mate.
110%, mate. So, see, growing up, Jamie, mate, have you always been a big dreamer yourself?
A big dreamer? Well, I definitely. I mean, I was when I was younger, football was my thing, mate. Do you know what I mean? So I had visions of playing the Premier League and all that. You know, everybody does though, don't they?
Aye.
Everybody does. So you can say I was a dreamer, mate. But fitness wasn't always. I didn't even always got to become a personal trainer. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I found that along the road, along the way. Do you know what I mean?
I think it does coincide, obviously, with getting fit for football.
100%. I mean? That's where it came from as well. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, see, just wait us right. I think we're just kind of going to take things back to the start, mate. Right. So, see, for you, kind of growing up, Jamie. Right. What was it like growing up as Jamie Watson?
Scheme boy.
Proper
scheme boy.
What scheme?
I'm from Bellshill, North Road. It's North Road. There's a few different areas in Bellshill, but North Road is where I'm from. I grew up in the scheme with my mum. My dad wasn't really about, so it was mostly just me, my mum, my sisters. And what was I up to, mate? I was up to all sorts, man. I was a wee guy that would like climbing trees, jump off lockies, smash the odd window when I was a wee guy. Right, you know what it's like? Just
typical sort of scheme life then.
But I was never a bad wee guy, mate. I was never up to too much madness, but I did.
Is Bellshill like that then? Like kind of growing up? It
was rough, mate. It was rough, mate. 100%, man. Like when I was younger, it's better now, to be honest, man. You couldn't go to the shops, mate. There were about 20 people there sitting drinking wine.
Seriously?
Seriously. Every time you go to the shop, mate, you had to like duck and dive through people, mate, to try and get there. Mate, people were just sitting tanning tonic wine at the shop, getting on it.
The standard,
Tuesday.
Mate. The old bucky, yeah. The old bucky. So, obviously you mentioned, mate, about being into football, right? So when did it kind of first start with football for yourself? Was it something you done in school or what? Aye.
So we played football every day in the do you know what, actually, when I was younger, mate, I didn't play until I was maybe about primary 4, primary 5. Like, I wasn't interested. Like, the odd time, but I wasn't properly interested until I was about primary 4, primary 5. All the other boys in that played all the way through. That's what we done in lunchtime and break time. There was loads of big, in our school at St Gerard's, there was loads of big, like, we had loads of ground. It was all like concrete, so it wasn't like grass or anything, but the boys played all the time, but I wasn't really interested. I was more interested in, like, skateboarding and stuff like that. My sister used to take me to the that Blantyre skateboarding park. We used to go there all the time, mate. So I was more into that, mate. I used to wear like baggy jeans with chains on them and all that sort of shit when I was a wee guy.
Bro, it's funny you say that. I was the same, mate. A pure Tony Hawk kid.
Aye, mate. I loved mate Tony Hawk's mind his game. That was amazing, mate. I used to love that. Mate. I used to love extreme sports, like watching the snowboarding and like the BMXing and all that sort of shit, mate. I was more into that when I was younger.
Mate, I actually kind of, like me and the boy who kind of got me into it identified ourselves as moshers, mate. I don't even know if that's still a thing, man.
Aye, mate, I was a mad mosher, I know, mate. That's mad. That's mad. So that's what, I was like that until about primary 4, mate, and I kind of started playing football for there. And I was naturally a springy, energetic. I could date anything, mate, like physically. Do you know what I mean? You put me on a trampoline, mate, I could do a double backflip and all that sort of stuff. Just naturally, mate. Like just naturally, just quite a good athlete. Aye. So I picked up dead quick. I was wiry, I was quick, all that sort of stuff. And I got myself like really quite skillful, really quite quick.
So a natural to the rest athlete, of the boys.
Just a natural athlete. I just took to things.
Cool.
As if I put my effort in it, that is obviously, but. That's kind of where it started, mate. I started them on the school playground, and I went to a team called Calder Braes, and I went there, and I actually started in like the B team. There was like 2 teams because a lot of boys are playing for the same team. So I started in the B team, started doing really well in the B team, moved up to the A team, and somewhere along the line, I went to Bellshill. I think it was maybe high school. I went to Bellshill Boys Club, and I played there. I don't know how many seasons, mate. I was there till I was about 15. I was maybe about 11 or 12, and I got picked up one day, or like got scouted, if you like, with Aberdeen, and that was a shock, mate. Like, see going for that, going for the training at Bellshill to like Aberdeen, mate. Oh my god, mate.
Who was it that got you into football?
It was well, my papa played professional. He played professional. He had a really good career. He played with teams like Raith Rovers, Hamilton. He played with a lot of different teams. He started at Clyde. He had a trial at Celtic. He also had a trial down in Middlesbrough. But he had a really decent career up here. He played in Australia as well for a couple of years. And he went on to management and stuff like that. So he managed Hamilton Accies and teams like that. We had a full career of scouting and match stats and all that sort of stuff. Worked for teams like Bolton, Wigan, St Johnstone, Burnley, teams like that. So he was like always involved. So every time I was running about my papa, he was always, you know, telling me stories about things that had happened and talking to me about it and all that sort of stuff. But he didn't force me into it. But he was a massive inspiration for me to, you know, try and do something. Do you know what I mean? Try and play the game. So I think he is probably the biggest inspiration that I've had. And all the way through the career, like my full career until I was about driving, like I wouldn't have been able to actually play the game. It wasn't for him. As I said, going back, like I didn't have a dad in my life. My mum didn't have a car. We were a proper scheme family. Do you know what I mean? There was not a lot of money kicking about. So if it wasn't for him, like I wouldn't be able to get to training. I wouldn't be able to get to games. I wouldn't have been able to do any of it. He used to travel up to like Inverness and Aberdeen to watch me play and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? He was clinical, like so important for me to even have half a chance of playing the game.
Aye, so here's a question about that then, right? Because obviously somebody that's so into football and being for Glasgow, right? You don't support Rangers or Celtic, don't you know? So what team does he support?
Well, I mean, I started as a Rangers fan.
Did you?
I did. I started as a Rangers fan. But there was the odd time, mate, there's pictures of me wearing Celtic taps in that as well, mate. I don't think I ever really did care that much.
Oh,
but
that's a cardinal sin, mate.
When I was younger, mate, I used to like love Nacho Novo and that, like back in the Novo days, and Dado Pruso and Barry Ferguson and all that sort of stuff. I was a Rangers fan when I was younger, but my Saturdays and Sundays were dedicated to my football for years. So like I wasn't watching the games, I wasn't going to the games. I wasn't really a fan. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really. But along the line somewhere, I just kind of decided like it was more the bigotry stuff and all that I couldn't get behind. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of that, especially where I was from Bellshill. It was a quite even split in Bellshill with Celtic and Rangers and stuff. I was like, this is fucking pointless. What are you doing, man?
Aye,
do you know what I mean? What is happening here? Like, what are we talking about? This is a game of football. So I think somewhere along the line I just thought, you know what? I love the game. I love to watch it. All fun games. I've got the fever. Mm-hmm. I'm loving it, mate. I can feel the vibraness in the air. But for one team, that's not for me, mate. I just love to watch a game and I love to be involved in it.
Aye, so you mentioned you started off as a Rangers fan. Does that mean you've sort of turned halfway there?
Aye. Well, I think when I was younger, my dad was still about for a wee bit, and he was a Rangers fan. I think that's where it came from. Mm. So he was obviously enforcing that on me as I was 5, 6. So he was buying me the taps and all that sort of stuff, mate. But eventually it just fizzled out, mate. And I just thought to myself, I don't actually have a love for any team. I love the game, but I don't want to just put all my energy into any one team. So that's just where I'm at, mate. People don't understand that at all, man. Yeah. They don't get it. Do you know what I mean? But I'm trying to explain it.
Aye, okay. No, I do find it strange, mate, just because you've been so into football. But like, I think I was just brought up like die-hard Rangers. You know what I mean? So like, it's just always known that. But I do know people that have obviously don't support them. Like, when people support Partick Thistle, mate, I find that the maddest thing ever. But I do know people that do it, man. I do know people that's like that.
It depends on your family, mate. That's it. So like if you're local to Partick's ground or something like that, and your granddad's a Partick fan and your dad's a Partick fan, that's where you're going. You know, that's who you are. Do you know what I mean? That's why there's not as many of them, because you're not going to support Partick Thistle if you're from Edinburgh area. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a smaller club, but that's essentially where it comes from. It comes from your family, it comes from your roots. Mm.
So here, just with that, right? Obviously, you've kind of mentioned your granddad kind of being like a big kind of part of your career, mate, and getting you into it. But who was the kind of heroes on and off the pitch then? Would you say your granddad was the hero off the pitch, essentially? Off the pitch,
100%. It was him, Papa, not my granddad.
Papa, sorry.
Papa Jim, man, big Papa Moosh.
Right, okay.
He was off the pitch 100%. As I said, like I couldn't have done anything with him, to be honest. Like it wouldn't have happened. So on the pitch, mate, again, when I was younger, when I did like love Rangers and that, I love Nacho, mate.
Aye.
Everybody used to say I looked like him and that when I was a wee guy, because I used to try and spike my hair like him and all that sort of stuff, mate. But as I got older, mate, like the main man's Ronaldinho, man, for me.
Aye, no, that's fair.
He's a man, mate. Do you know what I mean?
He was kind of like, I remember when I was like younger, he was the first kind of the main man. I mean, I remember him being like the GOAT at that time.
He was.
But then I guess just with that, who is it now, Messi or Ronaldo?
Oof, Messi all day.
Aye.
Mate, it's a hard one. That's hard, but like Messi all day, mate. Has to be Messi.
Bro, I get it, but I'm such a Ronaldo fanboy. I mean, he's like one of my major heroes, man.
He's a GOAT, mate. He's so good, mate. But I don't know, mate. If you had to pick, I would pick Messi all day, mate. It's got to be Messi.
Okay. So with that being said, man, right, when you were kind of growing up, what was the kind of like highest level you sort of played at? You mentioned Aberdeen and stuff like that there, but what was your kind of...
The highest level, so like, Aberdeen never signed me, so I went on trial for a bit, and we played Raith while I was on trial, Raith Rovers, and mate, I remember the day, like Aberdeen, I'd been there for a minute, mate. It must have been 6 or 8 weeks, maybe 2 months, like on trial. I don't think they could quite make their mind up on me. It was an awkward one as well, because we went from under 15s and they skipped 16s and went straight to 17s. So there was like boys a year older than you playing in the 17s, and I don't think they thought I was quite ready at that particular time to like take the jump. They could have signed me, they did say that, but you wouldn't probably play as much because there's boys ahead of you. There's bigger, like at that time at 15 I was tiny, mate. I was skinny. You know, I would probably have struggled a wee bit. So we played a few games, and we played against Raith Rovers. They told me they weren't going to sign me. That's Aberdeen, and I was devastated, mate. But the next day, Raith got in touch. Aberdeen told me that St Johnstone and Raith were interested, and both of them were going to get in touch, but St Johnstone never did get in touch. So Raith did. Raith got in touch, and I went in there on trial, and I done pretty well, mate. I think I scored in my first trial game, and done well in my second game, and then he offered me the contract after that. That was at under 15, so I finished there. I finished the season at Raith from Bellshill, under 15s, and then I done the 17s with them. And the first year I did struggle to get as much game time, because as I said, there's boys a year older than you at that age, mate. It makes a difference, you know what I mean? They're another year ahead, growing wise.
Aye, so just with that, I think we should also touch on what position you play, because that'll kind of show how competitive it is as well. So what position?
So I'm a striker. But at times, mate, I sometimes played wide in that, especially in the younger days, you know what I mean? Because you do need to be quite physical and stuff like that to play up front. And I was quite wiry and small and all that sort of stuff. But I was a striker, and I played mostly striker, but sometimes I did play off the left or off the right or whatever when I was in my younger days. And so the first year I didn't play as much, but the second year I did, and I done really well at Raith. And out of like a squad of maybe about 20 boys, it was only me and big Liam Gordon, who still plays for Motherwell right now, who got a contract. So we both get full-time contracts, and like, mate, there was 18 boys there that didn't get a contract, you know what I mean? So it was really competitive.
So I was never good enough to play pro youth myself, ever. I'm very far from it. You've seen me kick a ball, but the pro youth division and all that sort of stuff is so like almost, I don't want to say cutthroat, but it's like super harsh into it on like young boys.
100%.
I've heard that like a lot of boys having their dreams shattered. People getting dropped because they're like just too small, which is a kind of another issue with the Scottish football scene. I mean, they really wanted big physical boys for a long time. I think they maybe still do, I don't know. Whereas like in like Spain and all that, it's all about like fucking technical ability and all that, innit? Know what I mean?
Aye. Mate, I get that. A lot of boys say, oh, it's too small. See, if you're good enough, mate, you'd be signed. Simple as that.
Aye.
And that's just how it is, mate.
Aye.
Like, it is cutthroat, and like, we'll get to the point where I got released, mate, and it was fucking heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? It's crushing, mate, because that's your job, mate. At that point, so obviously I went full time at Raith, and again, talking about the jump from 15s to 17s was big. Jump from 17s to the first team was humongous, mate. Like the speed that people are moving the ball at, like how big these fuckers are, man. When you're maybe 17, 18, how strong they are, man. How aggressive they are, and how much it means. It's completely different. Like 3 points is everything, mate. This is these guys' jobs. This is their livelihood. Like there's bonuses on the line, win bonuses, goal bonuses, like clean sheet bonuses and all that. They make a big difference to these guys' wages, mate. It's like proper, it means something. Do you know what I mean? So the jump was massive, but I really enjoyed it. Had a really good first year there. The second year I didn't do as well. I got an injury in pre-season, mate, and it kind of killed me, man. I done my groin, like proper ripped it. And I missed all the pre-season games and all that sort of stuff. And I came back and I just kind of struggled to get going. My confidence was quite low. And at the end of that year, eventually, I ended up getting released.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a tough conversation, mate.
Aye, so we will get onto that in a wee second, right? But just before we do, who was like kind of maybe any current stars you played against at that sort of age?
Current stars? I've played against quite a lot, mate. So, as I said, mate, there's obviously Liam Gordon I mentioned to you. He's playing with Motherwell right now. I came up with a boy called David Bates, who we went and played with Rangers. I think he's moved to Hamburg. I think he's playing in like the Belgium First Division or something like that now. Like, so basically their Premier League. I played the big Marvin Andrews.
Did you?
I played Marv twice, aye. So,
how?
I'll tell you a story, right? So he used to come in and train at Raith, right? And I went in for like a week before I signed full time, because he sometimes pull like some of the boys that are maybe going to come up for a week when we're off school. And I went in for a week and trained. And he was training, mate, and we're playing like the wee games. And I used to like try and like pin people, mate, and all that sort of stuff. But
can I just see what this is going?
Mate, I'm not joking, right? And I'm like, I can't pin this big fucker because he's mate, I've never seen a guy as big as this in my life, especially when I was like 17. I was like, this cunt is fucking massive. I'm shite myself. So I've came off him. I took a touch, mate, and he's hit me with his body, right? So he's just been a wee yard daft, mate. As I've took my touch, my body's static, and he's hit me with his body, mate, and I went flying, mate. I went flying, and I mean, I'm no kidding you, I felt like I'd been uppercutted or something. Like I was seeing stars, man. I've never felt as much power as that in my whole entire life, mate. Absolutely hammered me, mate. Just wee stomach in his chest, mate. Bang.
He was some guy, mate, wasn't he, by the way?
He was great, mate. Honestly, like, you could hear him coming in there. He used to just shout Melvins all the time, mate. He called himself Melvin, mate. So see, when you're in the changing room, he'd be coming through the front doors and you could hear him. You could just hear him laughing and shout Melvin, like, sure. Honestly, man. He was a hero, mate. So I played with it. That was the first time I met Marv. And then I ended up signing for Clyde, like way down the line, and he was there. Like Marv was there. So I played with him for a season or two, man. They used to bring the twos up front.
Aye.
That was under Barry Ferguson.
Wait, you played Marvin up front, did you say?
Sometimes, mate.
What?
Sometimes. Well, we were just saying maybe it's 2-1 or something, and you need a goal, man. I was rapid at the time, right? So if I was on the bench with Marv, he'd be like, right, fuck, man, we'll just fuck the two on. Play it, just fucking hit Big Marv. Big Marv would just flick it on, and I would try and get him behind, mate.
Hey, okay.
He's a big absolute animal, mate.
Aye, that's mad. See, because obviously he was a centre back, wasn't he?
He was a centre back in his day, aye, like when he played properly.
Aye, so like that's just mad how they end up front. But do you think that's because maybe his ability, like he was able to just kind of go up and play?
No, I don't think Big Marv was like, and I don't think he'll mind me saying, mate, I don't think he was the most technically gifted player in the world, mate. He was a big fucker. You know what I mean?
Aye, well, but I was.
And by the way, like, you know, he can do his job, get the ball and pass it, and he's great in the air, mate. Like, never seen anything like it, man.
Aye.
Like, Big Marv used to, we used to practice corners, right? And Big Marv could header the ball for the box to the halfway line. Mate, I'm not joking you, mate. This is not an exaggeration, mate. When he went up, he would shout Melvins. Both, mate. You've never seen him to header the ball like this in your life, mate. He's trying to bust it with his face, man. He'd header it, mate. It doesn't matter where it hit me, just fucking bang. And then just go flying, mate, halfway line. Like, you've never seen power like it, mate. He's an animal, man.
Mate, just so we'll talk about Big Melvin. So, see, when I used to go to Rangers games, right, we kind of sat in the main stand and we were doing like the kind of very bottom level, a few seats for the front. And I remember once, mate, seeing him going for like a slide tackle, mate, where like it almost seemed like a slide tackle down with his head, mate. Obviously the player wasn't quite at the ball, but he actually kind of way he went down to me, my brother, while it buckled at it, mate. It was like the weirdest thing ever, and I just couldn't believe it, because obviously I was always just getting big headers and that sort of stuff. But that's absolutely mental, mate. He's got a good few stories, isn't he, as well?
Aye, he is, mate. He's obviously done his ACL, didn't he? And you heard the story, basically what happened, didn't he? He done his ACL and he played like 4 weeks later.
Did he?
Aye.
Go, tell the story.
So essentially, he done his ACL, mate, done the scan and all the rest of it, man. And everybody was saying like, "No, you can't play. Like it's 9 months recovery." And he's like, "No, God will fix me." He's like just adamant that God will fix him, man. And I spoke to him about it on the bus, and he basically just said that like I just prayed and I just like spoke to God and I just put my faith into it and I just almost just believed that I'd be fine. And mate, he was, mate. Mm-hmm. He was. It's not like he wasn't fine. He was fine after about 4 or 5 weeks. He was back playing in the first team. I don't know how all the experts in that are saying it's because of how big his quads and his glutes and his hammies and that were, mate, which literally they were, mate. He was so developed, it was unbelievable. Yeah. Maybe that could carry the knee. But, mate, I don't know, man. I don't know. There must be something in it.
Madness.
There must be something in it.
Madness, mate. Absolute madness. So was that just kind of the best players you played with or against as well?
Aye, so I played against another couple. I played against loads of players, like your pal Lawrence and all that sort of stuff growing up, man, like loads. But players that played with me, like that are still playing, Ross Laidlaw plays with Ross County, big keeper. Ross Callahan, who had like a really bad ACL injury, I actually watched the game. He was playing for Motherwell, and done his ACL against Celtic, but he's had a decent career. Boys still play with Raith at this moment in time, like Lewis Fawn and stuff like that. But in terms of like really, really high profile players, mate, I don't know if I've played against that many, mate, to be honest, but I played against a lot of really good players, mate.
Okay. So kind of what age did you kind of then start to really think, considering like football isn't going to be like a full-time sort of thing for yourself? What age were you?
I think I was 19 when I got released for Raith, and I had to, like, that was obviously my full-time job and all at that particular time, so I had to actually think, what else am I going to do, mate? And I was really lucky because at Raith you have like a careers guy that comes in on a Wednesday or a Friday afternoon, but when you're training, you train Monday, Tuesday, and then the first team have the Wednesday off. Thursday, Friday's training. But for us on the Wednesday, we had to study something. I made a boy called John Ritchie, older guy who's now dead, R.I.P. Great guy, mate, fantastic guy, good partner, just like good with the boys. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, mate. All the boys were like going on IT courses and all this other shit, mate, just to pass the time. And I was like, what the fuck am I got to do? You know what I mean? I love fitness, mate, because actually I'd done a wee spell in the gym, man, and I just got a wee love for it. And I studied I'd done my level 2 through the SFA, so they funded it and all that sort of stuff. So I had that in the bag when I got released, basically. And I was like, right, I'm going to have to try and get something with this qualification, mate. So you know what it's like when you're trying to get a job in the gym. Everybody wants a level 3, everybody. So I'm looking through all these jobs, mate, applying for all sorts. And it took me a while to get a job, mate. It took me about 6 or 7 months, mate. Ended up on the brew for a bit.
Did you? That's a full feed race, isn't it, man? Baller to the brew.
Think about it, but mate.
What was it like? What was it like actually having that kind of follow, man? What was it?
It was hard, mate. Like mentally, really, really fucking hard. Gone through a really bad time. Do you know what I mean? I got a teammate. I signed with Airdrie part time, but we ended up going to. I was still young, so I was under 20, so I wasn't getting paid. I had no money coming in. As I said, scheme boy. It's not like my mum had money just to fucking fork at me and sort me out, mate. So I had to do something. So I had to go on the brew, mate. I think my first ever payment for the brew got swallowed with bank charges, right? Because I had some sort of basically direct debit coming off my bank, mate, and something came off. I had £0 in my bank, mate, and it got swallowed, mate. So actually, basically, I went into like my overdraft unarranged, and they were taking money off me daily, and then this other money came in, and it just got swallowed with that. And I was still in a negative, mate. I had to go to the bank and sort it all out with my mum. It was a hard time. Do you know what I mean? I had no money.
But see at that time, were you kind of still almost like living as if, oh, I'm a kind of football player? Because I know that seeing when I was in town, right, when I was kind of younger, a lot of the boys who were away at clubs and stuff like that, they were kind of living this like, oh, I'm a football player persona, but they're obviously on buttons because they're so young at the time.
That's what I'm saying. Even at Raith, mate, I was on buttons. I was on £100 a week. That's how much money I used to make, mate. My first contract.
Is it?
£100 a week, mate.
Nice.
Full time.
Aye, it's no much as I was.
We're not talking 20 years ago. We're talking like not that long ago. Do you know what I mean? Like 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, that's so brutal, mate. How did you even get by?
You just get by, mate. You don't know any different either. It's not like you've went for your money, like I don't know, a proper full working wage to that. Yeah, that's just where you start. Know what I mean? You just get by. My mum helped me a lot with all that sort of stuff as well, mate. Like get my train ticket and all that sort of stuff to get to training. I used to have to get a train for like Bellshill, Edinburgh. I get picked up in Edinburgh and took to Kirkcaldy. Mate, it was a mission. It was like 2.5 hours to get to training and 2.5 hours back.
Aye.
As well.
Do you think there's like a good enough kind of support system for like the younger players in Scotland coming up, like to basically keep them, well, I guess, on the ball and able to make training and stuff like that as well?
Probably no. I don't know. Every club's different, mate. I think the bigger the club you go to, the more stuff is in place. You know what I mean? Like I know like Celtic and Rangers and all that sort of stuff will like make sure their boys get to training, pick them up and all that sort of stuff. They go to different schools and all that. Like they sort schooling and all that out for them so they can train before. But the lower the club, mate, the lower the money. Do you know what I mean? So it's basically just get yourself to training, and if you're good enough, you'll play. If you're no, you're out. You know what I mean?
And do you think that's kind of maybe why as well there's such a kind of big fall off with like I think Scottish talent in general when it comes to football? You know what I mean? Like because see when I was growing up, like there was a lot of players who were like really, really good. Like, obviously, maybe no professional level, but then they would kind of get to the point where it was like maybe 16, 17, started to drink, and like kind of like, it's not really happening here, and just patch it, you know what I mean? Like, how many players do you know that were decent players and it kind of like just lost it because they went out and partied too much?
I mean, there's players that never even done anything in the game, mate, and that were amazing when we were younger. Do you know what I mean? They never even played a professional game. That were better than me, better than players that are playing now, but it just didn't happen for them. But that's just mentality at the end of the day, man.
I
you get to 16, 17, all your pals are want to go out and bevy, and if you want to do that, you're not going to make it at football. It's crucial.
Aye. Were you kind of always quite good at like staying in and stuff like that then?
Aye, absolutely. When I was younger, mate, I was never really engaging in going out. I missed a lot of holidays with my mates. I didn't do. I think I missed about 5 or 6, mate. I didn't do anything like that. These guys were all going to Amsterdam and all that. But I was constantly playing, constantly training, constantly just trying to stay in and all the rest of it. There'd be the odd time I'd have a few beers and that. I never really started drinking till I was about maybe 19 or 20.
Aye. And what kind of kept you for going out and doing that and no giving in to temptation?
I just was never tempted, mate. I think I just always had the vision that I was going to try and keep my body good for football. Do you know what I mean? Really, that's all it was, mate. I just wanted to try and make sure that I was like good, like my body felt good for like Monday's training or Tuesday game night or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So because I knew that if I went out on a Saturday night, got bevied, that it would affect me in a negative way. Do you know what I mean? But it's obviously the odd time that you would go out, but it just wasn't a regular occurrence.
How did you kind of find keeping kind of like in contact with like, all your pals and stuff like that? Because I'm assuming for about 15, 16, they were all out drinking that all the time. Like, how did you kind of keep in the circle with them? If you did?
I didn't really, mate. So that's a story. You obviously, my best mate Luke. We drifted for a bit because Luke was just young and gone out and doing his thing and all that sort of stuff. But I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't doing that. So like we eventually just kind of drifted for maybe about a year or something like that. And no drifted as in we fell out or anything like that sort of stuff. We just didn't keep that much in contact.
Aye. So how does your mate Burno, who obviously people have seen the kind of speech about, how did he come into the circle then as well? Because I thought, did you meet him when you were out like drinking and all that as well?
I wasn't drinking, mate. No, I wasn't drinking. I was out though.
Oh, you
so
just
like,
out sober?
We were
Like,
young.
cool.
We were young. So I don't think many people would have been drinking. Could have been like a Saturday morning, probably no, if I was playing football, or like a Sunday during the day or something like that. Like all the boys sort of met up. Do you know when you're young, you just kind of meet up in massive groups.
You just walk about the
like
streets.
that, and then all of a sudden there's more people coming in and all that. So I met me bundled down the helipad at, in North Road.
What is this helipad? Explain it to me.
So mate, it's not an actual helipad, but it looks like an helipad, and it's basically like it's in the bushes, mate, and it's just a big square fucking bit of concrete that looks like a helipad essentially next to like the burn and amongst all the trees and all that. So I used to go down there, and a lot of the boys and that would go down there for a drink because it's out the way. So or we would just go down there to hang about. Do you know what I mean? Just in massive groups.
Aye, that's cool, man. And so see, obviously, mate, you've told me kind of half camera, like you used to go down to Burnos a lot and watch like football and all that sort of stuff. Would you say he was a big part of helping you kind of stay on track essentially?
That's what I'm saying in my speech. It was like the guy that would tell you what you need to hear, know what you want to. That was just Burno, man. He would just say it. So like if he thought you were like doing the wrong things, i.e. going out drinking or maybe making the wrong decisions with buds or...
Did he tell you this sort of stuff when you were growing up?
Oh, aye, mate, he would just hammer you, mate. See if he thought you were see if he thought you were like off it in any way, shape or form, he would just hammer you, mate. He would just say it. Just say what you doing, like...
Any good examples in it?
For instance, like I hated going down to Burnos like rough when I was younger because... I knew he would say something, mate. Do you know what I mean? Drinking again.
Fuck off, would he say that? So let's hear it.
You're meant to be an athlete and all that sort of stuff. And then he'd be like, I think you're drinking too much. He says you're drinking too much. He's like, you're meant to be focused on your football. You're meant to be doing this. You're meant to be doing that. You should be training. You should be doing that. You should be in the gym this morning before you come see me. All that sort of stuff.
No.
Like just wee things like that, mate. He was just so good at keeping me on track. And it wasn't just with like football or anything, mate, just in life, mate. See if you thought you were doing the wrong thing, he would just tell you, man.
Nah, he probably has a very good perspective on it as well, but man, because like, see if you were out like drinking and stuff like that, and you were chasing your career, it'd be easy for you to take it for granted. But then he's obviously seen that, no, you're kind of like wasting potential here. Know what I mean? 100%. So no, it's good that it was like that, man.
Aye, 100%. But he's got a cheek, mate. Do you know what I mean? He was the maddest wee cunt alive, mate. Like he was the biggest party animal you would ever meet in life.
I think it's one thing, but in it, it's like. Don't do as I do, but do as I say, or something like that. And that's a thing.
Essentially, mate.
You kind of briefly touched on, you got to level 2. So how did this kind of like transition into becoming a PT officially happen? So level 2, for people that don't know, just gym instructor, you can basically what you can
basically, mate, what it covers you today is work in a gym. You can be like a gym instructor. You can take like inductions. You can write out basic programs. And that's essentially what it covers. It doesn't cover much more than that. So you need your level 3 personal training and do your nutrition and take clients on and all that sort of stuff. So basically, I had that qualification in the bag from the Raith days, and I spent a lot of time just trying to apply for jobs. A lot of people wanted level 3s, but eventually I actually got offered something with McDonald Hotels. They've got like a fitness club attached to it. It's called Vital Health and Wellbeing. So my first job was up Hall next to Livingston. So I used to travel for Bellshill to Livingston. I feel like all my jobs have just been fucking miles away, mate. But I would have rather done that to get into the fitness industry than go and work for, I don't know, Quick Fit or something. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Like, I could have done that. I went down that route because there's a quick Fit in Bellshill. I went for an interview. I could have got that job, but I was like, nah. And there's more money and all that as well, but I'd have rather pursued the fitness career because I knew it long term wise it would be better for me.
Aye, mate, I feel you're such like a good natural PT. See when I watch like your TikToks, mate, see the way you talk to people and stuff like that, man, you've just got to have a good like chat, charisma, like I can just see how comfortable you make your clients feel, man. And I feel as if you're just kind of spot on for that job. And also, mate, you've just got good energy and positivity, you know what I mean? And like, clients come, they want to learn how to train, but like you're also changing their life and how they look at things and stuff like that. And I think you're really good at that, mate.
The wee moments in the sessions that are valuable as well, the stuff that you just would never see, do you know what I mean? Maybe just that I could just say something to you and a lot of the clients really appreciate just like trying to just flip the way they think about things a wee bit, do you know what I mean? Like,
how long have you been PTing for? Because I've only known you, how long? 2 years, maybe 3?
2-3 years now, aye. Maybe not, probably about 2 years since I've always known you. Like I've always known of you.
Oh, thanks.
Do you know what I mean? So I've always I came across you years and years ago, mate, on Instagram and stuff like that, mate. So I kind of knew who you were, mate. But I've been PTing for probably about, I would say about 10 years, mate. Maybe about 9 or 10 years.
Aye.
9 or 10 years. So essentially I got that job in at Houston House, mate, and that was like 5% fitness work, 95% cleaning, serving coffees, folding towels, fucking all the shite jobs of the day, mate, for like minimum wage, mate. It was actually good. I enjoyed the job and I enjoyed the people, but like I had to get away there, mate. I had to try and get something else, man.
Aye. So see where that now, right? Like, what sort of client is your kind of favourite client to go and work with? Like, what gives you the most satisfaction from your job?
You know, I've got a broad range of clients, mate. I know a lot of people don't go down that route. They kind of niche down, but I help people lose fat, mate. So I really, really take a lot of inspiration or like, I don't know what the word I'm trying to use here, but I get a lot of satisfaction for working with people who are beginners. People that are maybe trying to lose a lot of fat, or it doesn't matter how much you're trying to lose, or they've never stepped foot in the gym. Mm-hmm. So when they come into the gym, I've got a lot of patience with them. I can honestly get them for like not being able to do anything, squats, remaining deadlifts, to actually get them to that place where they're actually performing these exercises really, really well with good weight. So I feel like beginners that are trying to lose a lot of weight or just trying to better their life, make themselves more healthier for the long term of their life, that's it. That gives me the most satisfaction, mate.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. So kind of novices to kind of getting into it now.
That's it, mate. Aye.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And obviously, mate, you take like kind of online clients and that as well. And like, see, the kind of point I want to touch on with this is how kind of PTs gave you that ability to go and like you were travelling a bit for a while, weren't you, man? So why don't you tell us a wee bit about that, like kind of what you went and done?
So after I worked with McDonald Hotels, I went to NL and I worked with them for about 6 years, and basically like I was working for them and they changed the model to self-employed, and that's kind of where like I started making a lot more money, and I built up a good bit of cash, mate, and I just thought to myself, fuck it, man, I'm going to Thailand. So I just quit my job, mate, and just fucked off with Kenzie, and we went to like Thailand and Vietnam and Bali, and we were over there for about 3 and a bit months. And mate, it was an amazing experience, man. Really, really good. I also didn't play football for that wee bit as well, which is quite unlike me.
Oh, what was it like? Not playing football.
It was weird, mate. Actually, I was choking to play, and I went to this place in Chiang Mai during the day, mate, and I was just kicking the ball about, man. Just like training, doing some runs and stuff like that. And the boy came up to me and he was like, "You look really good, man." He's like, "Would you play in this tournament?" No, like, it's not a tournament. It's like a 5-a-side thing they do on a Saturday night. And the boys play from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, mate, for 4 hours. And there's like 40 boys turn up on like a Saturday night to play football. I was like, I fuck it, man, let me go, man. I went and played for like 3 or 4 hours with these boys in Chiang Mai, mate. I've got videos of it.
Was that good?
It was great, mate. The boys worked so hard and the standard was decent. It was good, mate. I was just playing. None of them spoke English. I didn't speak, like...
It's cool how that's a thing, isn't it? You don't need to speak the same language, but you kind of...
I was just there, just mixing it with these boys, man. It was great.
It's class. It's mental, isn't it? But because, like, see as well, like, you'd be obviously like, maybe like, wanting to shout for a pass, would be like, what? You know what I mean? But it's just instinctual, I guess. There's just no...
You can just make a noise and if you want the ball, don't you?
Like,
yes,
indeed,
come on.
Man. Indeed. But so what was kind of some things, see while you're away kind of travelling and stuff like that, right? What was kind of some, I don't know, perspective, any kind of things it gave you?
I think just taking a wee bit of time away from life gives you a lot of perspective. There's so much, mate, that just like being over there and having that time and like seeing the places I've seen and just getting that wee rest gives you a wee bit of perspective of like what you're trying to do and what you're... Gives you loads of thinking time, mate, do you know what I mean? You know yourself, you've done a bit of it. A lot of thinking time to really think, like, what am I going to do here when I come back?
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? What am I going to do?
So what did change when you came back then? What was the change for then onwards?
Hard to say, mate, but I mean, from where I was at NL to where I am now is like completely different. Do you know what I mean? I'm now working fully self-employed for myself, like full roster. I'd have not had a slot in my diary for like, I'm going to say about 5 months, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like not one single slot, mate. If somebody does leave, somebody comes straight in. Like to be where I am now, mate, like in that position, that was just always the goal.
No. What gym are you at again?
I work in Uddingston Physiotherapy, or Uddingston Gym it should be. It should be.
They're attached, didn't they?
They're attached essentially, mate. So you've got the Uddingston Gym, Uddingston Physiotherapy, mate, which has been a great move for me, mate. It's been a really good move for me. So I've enjoyed it in there.
Cool, man. So obviously, mate, you kind of went and made some like serious life gains, mate. You know what I mean? For starting off as kind of going for the football to then having that kind of low, like, oh man, I'm not going to make this, to then transitioning into level 2 gym instructor, building up, getting yourself to a position where you can go travel the world and that sort of stuff, man, right? So like, what's the kind of, and then obviously came back, go into a better position, etc., right? But what's the kind of next chapter looking like for you then? What's the kind of focus with that?
Mate, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know, because it was this. This is what it was. So I think I need to reset new goals, mate. New goals. I need to sit and look at it and say, oh, where are we going to take this now? Because the whole time, mate, the whole vision I had was this. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be working self-employed for myself. I wanted to be fully booked. I'm still playing football, semi-pro. It's like what's next? Do you know what I mean? Aye. So honestly, it's not like I don't have the answers, mate. I need to sit there and actually look at it and say like, what am I going to do with this? Where am I going with this?
See, just a good point to touch on that as well then for anybody else that is kind of looking to go and do something big with their life, right? Is like, I think you need to set your goals ridiculously high. Just to kind of touch on a wee bit of my own story, right? I remember sitting in Thailand doing work with my laptop on a rooftop pool, right? And I'd literally had the life that I envisioned like about 2 years ago. The only thing I never had was an absolute abundance of money, right? But like everything else, the lifestyle and all the stuff I really thought about, I had. And I was kind of, I remember sitting, I was like, I've actually like, achieved my goals so quickly. Like, and you do need to kind of go and reset them, man. You know what I mean? And kind of think kind of where they are and aim them as high as possible, man. You know what I mean? But so, not really any direction then at all? No?
Right now, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to take it, mate. I'm quite enjoying what I'm doing now. It's not like I'm in any rush to get away. I've only sort of been working for myself for the last 2 years. So I want to try and build that up and fix that. That could be better. What I'm doing now can be better. But in terms of moving away from that, I'm not 100% sure, mate. Obviously, me and you're doing the podcast and all that sort of stuff, so I've always really quite enjoyed that side of stuff, speaking,
content and stuff.
Content, and I can see myself speaking in front of people and like all that sort of stuff. But again, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to take it, mate. It's still a lot of thinking to be done, still a lot of goals to be set.
That's cool, man. So, no clear goal. What about like, is there a driving force or like a purpose that kind of makes you keep going with this? Know what I mean? Like, what gets you out of bed to go and do these sort of things? And
mate,
like,
I think like you wouldn't get me out of bed doing much. Do you know what I mean? So I start at 6, 7 in the morning, mate. I wouldn't be doing that for anybody. Do you know? It's just for my clients, mate. I love working with people, mate. I love conversations. I love just like, sometimes I sit and think to myself, like, I'm lucky just to be sitting spending this hour with this person. This person's really sound. Like, this is my job. You know what I mean? I'm teaching this person how to lift weights and get fit and all that sort of stuff. But I'm lucky. Do you know what I mean? Just to be doing this stuff. So like, I don't think I would get out my bed for much more than what I'm doing now. So I know I'm on the right track, mate. It's just, what's next? I'm not sure.
Okay. And I guess, mate, just to kind of go and wrap this up, right, is what would you say to somebody then who's looking to go achieve something big, take a long shot at life? You know what I mean? What would you say to them to inspire them to go and basically try and become more?
I think risk take, like risk taking, or it's worth taking the risk. It's worth taking the risk. What's the worst that can happen? Do you know what I mean? I think it's worse no taking the risk and thinking, what if? Do you know what I mean? I had a few conversations with some people that I've worked with in the past, and I had there's one specific one. It's a person I worked with. They had a chance, mate, at one point to go and do PT themselves. It was like basically he had his own wee unit on the go, and his PT was getting going and all that sort of stuff. And basically the place he was working for changed the systems where he wasn't allowed to do that anymore. So he was working for a gym and then doing his own wee bit on the side. They kind of changed it so they couldn't do that. And there was a chance here. He never took it. And he ended up not essentially getting himself self-employed and all that sort of stuff. And I thought to myself, it's not going to be me, man. I would rather fucking take that chance and fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Because then if I take the chance and it didn't work, I took the chance. Right. I took the chance. I tried it. I would rather that than sitting there thinking, what if I'd done that? Do you know what I mean? What if I'd done that? You can always go back and do work for anybody. You know what I mean? So just, I think the regret would be worse than taking the chance and it not working. Just take the chance, man. Just try it.
Cool. Jamie, mate, I'm not going to lie, that was brilliant. It's good to hear kind of a more in-depth version of your story. But is there anything else you want to leave the people with?
Nah, I think I'm happy with that, mate.
Aye, cool.
Nah, I appreciate it, bud.
Cheers, bruv.
Let's do it.
Lovely speaking to you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.